What's up, YouTube? This is your girl Shenita C, aka the beauty influencer, coming at you again with another YouTube video. So in this particular video, I will be giving you guys a quick update on what I have been up to, as well as a little chit chat about confrontational therapy. So if you guys are interested to see what I have been up to, as well as confrontational therapy, then please stay tuned. Okay, so I have been missing in action, okay? I do apologize. So funny story, yesterday I actually filmed a video, but for whatever reason, I was having some technical difficulties to the point where when I replayed the video back, there was no sound or volume in the video. So I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I did all of this talking. I'm talking about this was a very good video yesterday, but things happen, so I did go ahead and update you guys and let you guys know what was going on. But it's okay, because we're gonna go ahead and touch base again on what I talked about yesterday. Only this time the volume is working, okay? So what have I been up to? So first of all, my degree finally came in the mail. That's first and foremost. Yay. Second of all, I have been on 2 interviews since, graduating. Actually 3 interviews. I told you guys about the very first therapeutic, or should I say therapy position that I applied for in one of my previous videos. But these last 2 interviews, one of them was with a counseling facility, and then the other one was just, pretty much a retail job, something that I plan on doing just to, have something to do after work. So for those of you that are new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. And for those that are already subscribed to my channel and are already familiar with my channel, oh my God, thank you guys so much for returning. You guys could have been in any other YouTuber's channel, but you guys decided to go ahead and sit with me, and for that I do thank you. So with that being said, for those that are new, I recently graduated from college with my master's in counseling psychology, and it was last month on December 8th, 2023. And I'm in the process of wanting to apply for my LPC. Well, right now, my associate license, should I say, and then that associate license will allow me to get those supervised hours that I need to go ahead and apply for the LPC, or, to become certified as a professional counselor. So that is what I'm working on right now. So I have been looking for a job, a part-time job, if I can find one, where I can get those supervised hours in from someone that is already licensed in the counseling profession. And, pretty much getting those hours in to where I do not have to pay for it out of pocket, but rather they are able to pay for it for me. And in return, I just work for billable hours that are a little bit less than what you would typically pay for a professional that's already licensed as a counselor. So with that being said, again, I had one retail job interview. I actually did get the job for that, and I'm scheduled to start that particular job the first week of February. And then I did have another interview with a counseling facility that I am so hoping that I did get, because they are willing to pay for my supervised hours. And then of course, the only thing that comes with that is, having a low billable hour or pay for, counselors that are trying to pursue their associate license or their LPC. But that is fine in my book, because at the end of the day, if they were paying me what they would pay an actual professional or a certified counselor, then I would still have to turn back around and pay out of pocket for them giving me those supervised hours. So to me, it kind of balances out. So it's a win-win situation. So with the facility that I applied for an interview with, they are looking for part-time workers with the opportunity to go to full-time, and then you pretty much make your own hours up. I will be considered an actual employee of theirs and not a contractor, because I know I have been coming across a lot of positions where they are looking for a contractor, and I'm not really understanding how that works or why some counseling facilities are looking for contractors versus an actual employee. But if I had to guess, it probably has something to do with maybe some type of liability, and then of course even with the pay. So with that being said, if I do get this job with the counseling facility, I will be able to work after hours. I get off of work at 4:30, so I plan on doing, a couple of clients each night, maybe 3 at the most, Monday through Fridays, and then of course on Saturdays and Sundays, that will be my time to go ahead and do, as many clients as I can within that window. And this will require me to actually go to the client's house, sit down with them, or even meet up in public with them, whichever way they feel comfortable with doing so, the client that is. And of course, as long as I can, make sure that, we maintain confidentiality. So I'm actually looking forward to doing that. So that's typically what I have been up to as far as my own personal goals and, my own personal life update. Something else. Okay, so I have been on another date since my last video that I talked to you guys about with dating. It was a really good date, but I feel like nothing really came out of it. It's fine. For the year 2024, I just made an effort to just be able to date more, go out more, things of that nature. As a matter of fact, I did a mini road trip today, but that's one of the goals that I wanted to set out as well with the new year, is actually getting out more, like outside of where I stay in the city, and just, explore other cities to start off with. So for those that may not be familiar with me, I absolutely dislike driving. I really do. And especially, getting on highways and stuff is not really my thing. I'm just going to be honest. And it's really not that I'm afraid of traffic. It's just that I'm afraid of how other people drive. I'm secure in the way that I drive, but other people, they just drive really, really crazy. But if the roads and stuff are very minimum cars, slow traffic, I feel comfortable driving like that. It's just really driving through traffic like Atlanta is where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do this. It makes my anxiety just go through the roof with that. And while I was on the road today, I was on the countryside today, and these cars are so aggressive. I had about 4 or 5 cars just go around me. And I'm not talking about on the highway. I'm talking about on a 1-lane road, one way going and one way coming. These cars was literally going around me, and I'm like, I'm driving the speed limit. Why are you guys in a hurry? This is a country town, so where are you guys headed to? But it's okay. I mean, I just feel like, everybody has their own thing that they like doing, or, driving the way that they feel fit to drive. But, yeah, so I'm glad that I was able to accomplish, at least one of my goals with, driving out of town. This was a very miniature road trip. It was maybe about 35-40 minutes away from where I stay at. And for me, that's big. It may not be big for you guys, but it's definitely big for me. I wanted to talk to you guys about confrontational therapy. Let's see. Where do I start? So I'm going to give you guys the definition of it, and I have it pulled up right now, and I'm going to read it. And it says, what is confrontation in group therapy? Confrontational therapy is the act of directly facing or being encouraged to face a person's difficult situation. In therapy, confrontation can be used as a therapeutic technique when there are conflicts between how the patient feels and what the client or the patient does. This can be used in group therapy. Since I've been studying psychology, and it's not something that you just stop doing once you graduate, I already know, and I'm already preparing myself that even as I continue on this road and this career to doing counseling, it's going to be a lifelong thing where I'm constantly studying and learning more about this particular field. And I want to go ahead and my videos going forward, I want to go ahead and just start talking about certain topics dealing with psychology, and not only for myself, for me to reference back on, but for those that may be going through similar situations, And so with that being said, a lot of people are not very confrontational. And for me, I feel like I'm in the middle when it comes to confrontation. And I do feel like sometimes when you face your problems head on, I do think that it can kind of work out in a good, in a good way, and you're able to heal properly from, whatever has been causing you trauma or whatever difficult situation you have been in, whether it's relationships, friendships, things with family members, jobs, losing a job, losing a loved one, things of that nature. And for me, one of the things that I've had to confront about myself is that I am not the easiest person when it comes to relationships. And I had to start, examining from someone else's perspective in order for me to understand, how I am or how difficult I can be. And so it has been a long time since I've been in a committed, full-on relationship. And I know with that last relationship, I felt like it started off really, really good. There were a lot of red flags within the relationship, and not just from his part, but even from my part, I'm sure. And I was younger back then. I'm talking about, this was about 8 years ago, I believe. Yeah, it was about 8 years ago. And if I could do it over again, I would definitely do things differently. And one of the things that I would do differently is, the way I convey how I feel, my feelings toward this person, and things that may have affected me in the relationship. So one of the issues, or should I say one of the culprits that was in that relationship that I felt from my perspective, was his mom. And I felt like I should have confronted her more than what I did. And I don't know. It's like people are set in their ways. And I know it's some stuff that I won't understand until I become a parent. But for the most part, I do not understand why some moms get extremely involved in their son's relationship. Now, I know that, there are some moms that may get involved in their daughter's relationship too. But again, I'm speaking from my perspective with, me dating a guy that had his mom heavily involved in our relationship. And that, because of that, it kind of took a toll on our relationship. And I kind of feel like it played a part in the demise of our relationship, and as well as, stuff that he had going on, as well as myself. And so, I would have confronted her in a whole nother way. I felt like most of our communication with, was like texting. And I felt like if me and her would have met up and maybe talked in person, I do think things would have been differently. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like sometimes when you are communicating via text messaging or even video calls, sometimes things could definitely get misconstrued or, just taken out of context. And that's what I kind of felt. I felt like the ball was dropped on both ends, but for whatever reason, this person just preferred to communicate via text on, 90% of the occasion. And I felt like that is where some of the issue came in. But this person was just so vocal about the things that was going on in me and her son's relationship. It hurt, when we broke up. It really did. And I didn't think I was going to get over it, but I did, and I was so angry at him at first, having to move back home and move back in with my mom and just kind of start over. I felt so embarrassed because when I left, I was working at the hair salon, and my coworkers, they knew about me moving with this guy. They thought we was going to get married, the whole 9 yards. So when you're coming back to your hometown and people looking at you like, dang, like, then you just leave. Because I think I was only gone about a good year, give or take. And I was already back home. And It was a decision that I made to go ahead and end the relationship. No, I'm not going to say it wasn't my decision to end it. It was his decision, but it was my decision to go ahead and move, out of the house, or should I say the apartment that he and I shared together. And I did that because I feel like, even then, and then of course now, when you guys are in a relationship that has come to an end, I just feel like that person doesn't deserve to see your sadness, so to speak. And I just didn't want to give him that, he's not the person to kind of gloat, but I guess for me, I just didn't want him to see that part of me, and so I just chose to move back home, and it was what it was. But I'm saying all this to say is that, originally I was so upset when it happened. But then over time, I just started reflecting back on how things could have been done or handled differently from all aspects of the relationship. And I had to understand that, I played, just as much, a part of the bad stuff in the relationship as he did, and I just couldn't point fingers anymore. It's solely just him. And so with confrontational therapy, or being confrontational in general, it can be therapeutic depending on how you do it. And you have to face your demons, so to speak. And I felt like if I would have did that with his mom, I definitely feel like, I could have healed a lot quicker than what it was. And not only that, but even getting involved with him, even prior to that, when I was dating or seeing other people, for some reason, I just never get along with, the guy's mom for whatever reason. Like, I even asked my mom about it. I was like, why is it that I don't never get along with, the guy's mom? But I bring the guy around my family, particularly my mom, and they're like very cool. But for whatever reason, I don't get that. It's just always like, I have to be argumentative with them. They kind of say certain stuff, and I would try to tell the people that I'm a woman, like I know what your mom is trying to do, type of thing. But my key takeaway from that situation is just, for the next relationship that comes, is just to be open, communicate effectively, listen, effectively. And not only that, but, when something does go down that, I'm not really feeling, just go ahead and confront it or resolve it right then and there, but do so in a way where it doesn't come off as being negative. That's the key takeaway that I have, and I feel like when you are, until you have, learned your lesson, I feel like God will just continue on taking you through, the same situation, and just maybe different players, so to speak, as in like, different people on the game board, but it's going to be the same game, same rules, but it's a different person. And I feel like God does that as a way to kind of see, have you learned what you needed to learn, or receive a message that you're supposed to receive from that particular person. I strongly believe that people come into your life, as a way to, teach you a lesson, or they come in your life as a blessing. That's just the way that I perceive it. And so for me with that situation, I think that my lesson was to just, not be so quick to just move, and not only that, but just to, learn to see other people's perspective on things. And so in turn, fast forward, to the year 2024, I've been single for some time. I really have. And I've been dating, off and on throughout the years, but I have yet to come across, a guy that I feel is, worth, me, if that makes sense. I don't feel like the guys here in this area, I just don't feel like they understand me as a woman. And there was a time and a place where I was just so devastated, with just being, in my 30s and single. Like, I'm about to be 34 next month and I'm still single. But when I tell you that I just absolutely refuse to just settle or be with anyone, I just refuse. Now, I don't mind dating. You know, I can date all day, every day. But I do feel like, you know, I'm going to have to be completely wild for me to just take a guy very seriously. Because even when I'm dating, these guys, they're just not matching up. They're not, you know, matching up on my level. Most of them, they don't have their own place. They don't have their own car. They don't have their career. They don't have their educational background. It's just so much. And so I just said, you know, with this new year starting, if I'm being asked on a date, because that's your time right then and there to just go ahead and, you know, at least have some type of understanding of what you're dealing with. When I say this, and I'm not saying this to sound mean or picky, but I just know my value and I know what I deserve when it comes to my mate. If I'm not able to check certain stuff off the box that I feel like, you know, is what I like, I am not, you know, entertaining that person no more. They will be going on my block list. I'm just being honest. So with that being said, you know, since I have, you know, what I'm saying that I'm wanting from the opposite sex or from my mate, I feel like they should have that as well. They should have their own place. They should have their own car. They should have a stable job with benefits, you know. And I feel like if they don't have that, then that's a red flag, especially being, you know, a man in your 30s, or especially being a man that have kids. And it's showing me that you don't have stability, or that you lack stability because you don't have the basic necessities of life. And let's just be honest, in our 30s, you know, as adults in this world, it's just pretty much basic for you to have transportation, you know, your own house, you know, or your own apartment, and just not be staying with no family members, your mom, your dad, or whoever. I just don't want to keep dealing with that. You know, I'm sorry, but it's just, I don't like that, you know, and I don't know. I'm just not going to do that no more, you know. And it seemed like the people that don't have that, they be the ones that they just be trying to play you, you know. And it's like, how dare you try to play me when you don't even have the basic necessities of life? I'm just being honest. You know, how could you try to play anyone? You know, are they trying to ride off your coattail? They trying to, you know, mooch off you or leech off of you, and they're disrespectful. And I don't want to tolerate that no more. So with that being said, if you guys, you know, for the fellas that are listening in or watching, you know, if you are trying to date a woman, I'm just saying, you just need to come correct. And you just need to make sure you have the basic necessities, okay, to be able to even entertain a relationship. Because who wants to get involved in a relationship where the burden is already on them 100%? Who wants to do that? Okay, you can do bad all by yourself. You mean to tell me that I'm getting involved with someone that, you know, I have to carry them? You know, I have to continue on carrying my load, my weight. But now I got to put on your weight as well. That's too much. That's too much weight right there. That's heavy. Like, who does that, you know? And it's actually making me mad just sitting here thinking about, you know, guys that I've went on dates with that just they don't have their life in order. Like, it was a complete waste of my time. And then I'm looked at as being this stuck up person or just being so picky, when it's not that I'm being picky. It's just that I know my worth as a woman. And I always ask the guys, you know, as we're talking and stuff, like, you know, why do you want a woman to stoop down to your level or to dumb herself down to you? Why don't you step up and rise to the plate? I'm just saying, like, why not do that? You know, if you don't have your life in order, you don't have your own place, why not go out here and get your own place? I'm just saying, you should have that anyway. You're a grown man. And then let's even talk about the sex. They want to have sex, for God's sake. Why would I have sex with a man that don't even have his own place? I'm just saying. Now, I've talked to you guys before in my previous video about, you know, me being celibate. I'm still maintaining that, but I'm just saying, you know, for the fellas or the women out here that, you know, they're coming across men that, you know, they want to have sex, but they don't have their life in order, as in they don't have their own transportation. They don't have their own place. What you want to have sex for if you don't even have your own place? I'm just saying, you know, just be respectful of that woman. You know, that woman may have kids, and why would you want her bringing, you around her kids, and then, y'all having sex and stuff, and the kid is in the next room. Like, who does that? And then the woman got to come pick you up and all of this stuff. I just don't want to do that no more. I've done it before in the past. I'm not even going to lie, but going forward from this day forward, I'm not doing that no more. I'm just not settling anymore. One thing I will say, and this is true when it comes to guys do not settle. They will go after the most beautifulest and most successful women and will not think twice. Okay, now that don't mean that the lady gonna give them the time of the day, but I have to admit, guys are way more confident than some women. They headstrong in what they want. But going forward, I'm just being honest, with what I've been asking God for and praying to God about when it comes to my mate. When I tell you, mark my words, I'm not settling, and I'm going to have a checklist. And if the guy does not have the basic necessities to live, then it's nothing that he and I can do. I'm just being honest. You can call me stuck up. You can say that I'm picky. You can say, oh, you're going to be single for the rest of your life. You can say whatever. But when I tell you that if I can't check off that stuff, that checklist, if I can't put check marks and all of those boxes, then I don't need to be with you, because it's like you want me to just start struggling with you, and I'm not going to do that. I don't have any kids, and I'm getting upset just even talking about it. Y'all excuse me, but I know that you guys can relate. I'm just saying. And so not only that, but if you get to ignoring certain stuff, about a guy, or even for the women, I know fellas, I know there's some women out here, but I'm speaking from my perspective, and I'm a woman that dates guys. So I can't really speak, about the women or the stuff that you guys may be dealing with or going through with women. But, yeah, I'm not ignoring any more red flags. I'm just not doing it. And like I said, I know my worth. It's not even about being picky. And I feel like if that guy is telling you that, then that means that he's immature, that he doesn't even understand your worth. He doesn't even understand your mindset. You can't sit up here, and take on someone else's baggage and stuff. I don't have kids right now for a reason. I'm just being honest. And so when you get involved with these people in relationships and you find yourself having to do stuff that you would do for a kid, it's a problem. And you already causing issues in the relationship before you guys even get 10, 20, 30 years down the line. You already messing up. Okay, so with us being in our 30s, for the people that are in their 30s, okay, so this is the time to go ahead and use these next 10 years of literally 30 and then going into your 40s. This is the time now for you to go ahead and have your life in order. I'm just being honest. So when you was in your teens, you messed up. When you was in your 20s, you partied, you messed up, you was being very irresponsible. So now you're in your 30s, and so this is the stage now where you start literally aligning up all of your players on the Monopoly board. This is where you start getting your life in order so that you can prepare, for your older years. I'm just saying. And so either you're going to do it by yourself or you're going to do it with your mate. But that mate has to make sure that he's stepping up to the plate and that he has his life in order. I'm just being honest. And another thing is when you get involved in these relationships and, you guys get to the point where, you guys are getting married, you're having kids, it lays the foundation down for you. So if he's already unstable when you meet him, or if you're willing to just overlook, him being unstable, why do you get upset, when as life goes on, he's still coming at you with those same excuses that he did when you guys first met? That's another thing that I'm looking at. I'm not finna overlook no more red flags. I'm just not doing it, because before you know it, 2 years be down the line, 3, 4, 5, all of that stuff, and he's still coming at me with those excuses. It's very odd and very strange for a guy that's in his 30s that has children to be walking around here saying that he doesn't have transportation or he doesn't have his own place, or I'm still getting up on my feet. I've heard it all. Okay, it's just a serious problem, because I'm a single woman and I don't have any kids, and yet I'm on my own. Okay, so it's just no excuses. And so I don't want to keep on repeating the same thing, but you guys, let me know, comment down below and let me know your perspective when it comes to dealing with men or even females that are just up to no good. They lack stability. Let me know how that worked out for you, and let me know some of the excuses that they come with. So that's all I have to say for right now. I wanted to just freestyle this particular video. Again, give you guys a quick update about what I've been up to, as well as talking about confrontational therapy. I'm excited about doing my next video on another topic, and I'll let you guys know what that is when I think of it. I just want to do a little bit more research. But until then, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go, and then I'm also gonna insert a quick segment of me cooking some spaghetti, my take on spaghetti. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the cooking segment of this video. Once again, you guys could have been anywhere else, but you guys decided to pay me a visit, and for that I do thank you. And until next time, ciao.
As you fade away,
yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. Try to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I